My name is Aditya. I call myself an alchemist. I'm an international life coach, an author, and a psychologist. Today I'm going to talk about an interesting topic which I called divine union. It is the merging of these two opposites that we keep facing on our life all the time. I've been born with a gender identity confusion, and always I felt that I am not in the right gender. I was confused about my gender. And I kept asking this question: what is it to be a male? What is it to be a female? And I used to get various answers. Is it just the external things that we see, or it's something more than that? For me, it was finding my own identity. Identity on this physical plane is important. Until we know where we stand, we really can't operate. So my search was to find what is the meaning of these two terms, the male and female. I understood that male and female, rather than just being these two terms, it has to do something with the inner essence, the masculine and the feminine. So I'm going to talk about these two terms, masculine and feminine, which is an essence that is present there in all of us, be it male or female. So what is this masculine force? The masculine force is about this outgoing energy, like we are doing an action, we are going towards a goal. So it's a movement that is from inside to out. And the feminine, what is the feminine? How can we define it? It's a force that is coming from out to in. So whenever we are nurturing ourselves, when we are going into an inner journey, we are going inside. This is what is the feminine principle. And what I found is these two dynamics keep working in our life. Like how we are breathing, we are taking the breath all the time. It's going in and out. Similarly, these two energies are constantly happening in our life. So if there is a male, he might be a more of a masculine energy. Let's say he's like 70% in the masculine energy, but again, he has like a 30% of the feminine energy. And vice versa, if it's the same for the female, the so-called external female. Now, these two dynamics, the play of this polarity, if we can understand the play of polarity, we will know how to live our life. That is where the truth of living a beautiful life is hidden. The art of living is understanding the polarity. A person who has mastered the art of learning about polarity or dealing with polarity has known life. So I'm going to talk more about going into this principle because that is where I have started understanding how polarity works. So as I said, on the physical plane, it's male, female, but as we go a little deeper into the emotional state, into the essence, we understand masculine, feminine, the two forces, right? And if we keep growing, because there would be also, I call it a toxic polarity in us, which I'm going to talk about. And then there is this divine polarity, which I have termed, which I have understood as Shiva and Shakti. So, what is this toxicity about these two polarities? How does it works? Like, for example, if a masculine force can be very competitive, it can be very dominative, it can be aggressive. That's the toxic part of the masculine essence. And what is the feminine part? Feminine part could be like a poor me story. She is feeling very insecure about her being. let us take an example. Let's say I want to reduce my body weight, for example, let's say. But many times I hear people saying that they really can't do it, right? Oh, I want to reduce my weight, but I can't do it. What is happening here? If you want to reduce your weight, you want to do it, but why is this conflict there? Yes, friends, the conflict is there because there is this two polarity working, which I call the toxic polarity, the toxic masculine and the feminine. So the toxic feminine has a story, and the toxic masculine has a story about it. So what is the toxic masculine saying? For example, it's saying you need to prove yourself, you need to reduce your weight, you need to look good, you have to compete with others, you have to prove yourself. That's what is a toxic masculine saying to reduce the weight. And for example, what is the toxic feminine saying? It is saying, oh, I can't really get up, I don't have that much strength, I feel so bad about this whole body weight, right? She is in a more of a victim mode. She has a story, a poor me story, right? And now what happens? A person is stuck between these two polarities. They don't know how to go about it, how to come out of that conflict. Now what needs to be done? What needs to be done is we need to put our awareness in what's happening inside us. What are these two stories going on? I want to reduce my weight, but what's going on? So we need to dig deep and understand these two opposite polarity. If we can be patient, listening to what is happening inside us without any judgment, unconditionally, not criticizing us. If we can be patient with these two polarities, we will start developing a higher identity, which I call is the divine polarity now. So we see the toxic polarity, which is, I would call, which resides in our lower mental plane. The divine polarity resides in our higher mental plane. The lower plane, the polarity, has a conflict. It makes you feel stuck. It won't allow you to move forward. But the higher mental plane polarity is not about a conflict. It is the polarity are supporting each other. One is supporting the other. The masculine is supporting the feminine, and the feminine is supporting the masculine. So I have taken the example of reducing the weight. Let's say how it works here. So the masculine says, I am going to support you. I am going to give you a sense of direction. I am going to give you a sense of the purpose of your life. I'll give you a direction in your life. Right? So reducing a weight is about getting a direction in your life. Right? And the feminine says, okay, I'm going to nurture you. I'm going to care for you. I'm going to give you all the love, all the nurturance you require in order to do that. And this is how the masculine and the feminine dance happens. Right? And we start making use of this polarity rather than being stuck in a conflict. Friends, if we are in the earth dimension, we need to know we have to master the art of polarity. That's where I love the term alchemist. We all need to become an alchemist. We all need to learn how to play with this polar opposite. We need to know how to turn one polarity into the other. And it works in all areas of our life. If you want to better our relationship, you need to know polarity. If you want to better your finances, you need to know polarity. If you want to better your health, you need to know how to deal with polarity. if you are fearful, if you are not confident, if you are insecure, if you have some other phobias, you name it. You need to know the art of polarity, how this dance happens, and you need to reside in this divine union. The masculine and the feminine needs to meet inside. The marriage needs to happen for us to feel that balance, for us to ride the bicycle of our life. So, another example of this polarity which I can give you in relationships. Often I get people like relationships like husband-wife, they are fighting with each other. The man doesn't understand the woman doesn't understand the man. The man thinks, women, they are not talking sense. They are so emotional, right? And the woman feels, oh, I don't know this man, he's so cold, he is not paying attention to me, he doesn't give me time. And there is a conflict with the man-woman relationship. Again, this is the toxic masculine feminine that we were talking about. But if any of this relationship gets more aware, they go more deeper, they are more open to learn about themselves, or they are more open to be in love, they will start understanding these two dynamics. They will start understanding what is happening. So the man needs to understand his inner feminine, and the female, the feminine, needs to understand the inner masculine. We can't understand the external gender before we know our internal gender. So the man goes deep inside and feels, what is this feminine saying? He'll find most of the men, they have shut down their emotions, they have shut down their feelings, they're not connected to that. The moment they will start connecting to their feeling, they will start understanding what a feminine talks about. It's like a story. And same is with the feminine. She will start understanding her inner masculine, her story of this inner masculine, and then say how much this man wants to be in space, how much this man is just focus oriented, how much this man wants to move towards a target. And hence, they will try to understand, they will be open to know each other. So man will start listening attentively to his woman. And the more he tries to listen to him, to her, he will start understanding what is she talking about, and he will start gaining more perspective. And same is with the women. And when the understanding of the polarity happens, evolution happens. Now the relationship can now grow. It will start moving upward, forward. This is how we all evolve. Isn't that beautiful? So that's again an example of relationship. Again, another example, let's take finance. So often people say that, oh, I'm not much abundant. I want to be more abundant, but I don't know how. So if you want to be abundant, you need to know how to be abundant. You just go and be abundant. But why? Because again, there is a conflict. What is the conflict? It's a conflict between the give and take. Now, abundance, when I'm saying abundance, it's just not about, of course, the money part. It's about abundance in everything. Abundance in your health, abundance in your relationship, abundance in everything. So you want to be abundant in everything, in all walks of your life. So if I want to be abundant, if I decide to be abundant, I should be abundant, right? What is it that is a conflict then? Why am I not able to be abundant? Why am I not able to be abundant is because of this toxic conflict inside me. The conflict of give and take, for example. Let's say I'm just like a giver, I just love to give. And I have never learned how to accept, receive, embrace that receiving, be thankful that, okay, I'm receiving also. So what happens is I feel so empty inside. I'm not balanced because I just know how to give. So one time it will happen that I don't have anything to give because I'm not in a recycle.